Have you noticed that there's so much mess in our world of relationships? So much instability, people dating a number of people in a very short time. Yes, I know that one of the strongest reason is mindset issues. But one other reason that we have not yet figured out is that we are not keeping people afraid of losing us. And that's why I made this video. Keep her afraid. If you are new to this channel, my name is Grace Asantewaa, and this is Personal Grooming with Grace. If you are yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe, and I will so much appreciate you. We have a lot to discuss today, and you wouldn't want to miss any part of this video. I will be right back. In this video, I'll be a little biased towards the men because I will basically dwell on the men, how you can keep her afraid. And then in another video, I'll do that for the women, how you can keep him afraid of losing you. Without wasting much time, let's go straight into the video. The first underlining point I want to make is that people are afraid to lose a thing because one, that thing is expensive, and two, that thing is difficult to get. The moment you buy something and it is so expensive, you wouldn't want to spend that much money to buy it again. And so you protect that thing with everything that you have. But if it's so cheap, then it means that you can just waste it, or it can just destroy, and then you have no worry because you can easily afford to buy a new one. And then you can even see an upgraded one it will catch your attention, and then you just dump this one and go for that one. And that is the philosophy behind keeping her afraid. Honestly, there's a lot of opinions on social media that if you do not take care, you may think that because a lot of people are saying it, that is the norm. And that I call it nonsensical normalities, because it does not make sense. Most of these are just from people's opinions and people's experiences and all of that. And I think that it's time for us to go back to the word, because that is the only thing that can sustain us. Sometimes when I'm reading some of these comments or watching some of these videos and hearing people talk about things and how they are saying it and their opinions and mindsets, I start speaking in tongues because I just want to sanitize my mind. I will not stop watching because I really want to know where people come from, what is their perspective. So I want to really know. But I do not want to build that thing in my mind or let that word sow a seed in my mind. So I am always careful whatever I am listening. And if you do not take care, you may think that women love tall, dark, and handsome people. You have to have money. And today, that's the age of the day. Everyone thinks that before you marry, you have to get rich. And as women mostly do not even want to marry someone who does not have money as they have, or their standard is that the man they marry should have more money than they have because they are the providers. That is a wrong thinking. Actually, I'll come there on my next video for the women, but today is just for men. So we have to protect our sanity and know what are the things that are long lasting and what are the things that are so temporary. Because if you remain on the things that are temporary, that is when your relationship and everything you are building becomes temporary. But if you focus on the things that are more eternal, or the things that are difficult to get or difficult to build, those are the things that maintain and stabilize your relationship. And so the first thing I want to talk about, that if you are a man and you want to keep her afraid, this is healthy afraid. The person doesn't really want to lose you. And if you're a man, you want to do that, then the first thing you have to do is that you have to be a man who truly fear and love God. I did not just bring fear because I know that even the devil fears God. Fear in some parts of the Bible means that reverence to God. some other parts also means obedience to God, kind of thing. But if you take just fear, fear is not enough. You have to be a lover of God, both fearing and loving God. That is the kind of man you have to be able to keep, or to be able to keep her afraid. Yes. And if I'm saying keep her afraid, I'm not saying any woman at all, because some women are outside this bracket I'm talking about. They do not want that thing. All they want is what they want. Those people, they are not part of my circle, so I'm not talking about them. But if you want to keep a visionary woman, a woman who really knows what he wants, a destiny purposeful woman, then this is what you have to be. This is the first thing you have to be. You have to fear and love God. Loving God means obeying his commandment. The Bible says that if you love me, you obey my commandments. So if you are someone who is purposed on obeying everything that God has said in the Bible, trying your best to obey all of them, trying your best to reverence God, trying your best to keep God at the center of your life, then you are like 20%, or I don't even think it's 20%, because all the other things I'm coming to say really falls under this thing. You are way ahead of making her become afraid of losing you. Why? Because a man who fears the Lord brings security in a relationship. You don't have to be someone who is always looking out for what the man is doing, which lady because the word of God doesn't allow him to do that. So you are so secure that wherever in the world that he may be, the Holy Spirit is just his CCTV. You don't need to police him. And you have so much peace in your life because he is the God kind of man. And so if you want a visionary woman to be afraid of losing you, that is the kind of man you have to be. I always tell people that if you are in a relationship that your partner does not love God, or your partner does not fear God, then it is a risk. It is a risk, or it's 50-50. Because the devil can borrow that person who doesn't have anything to do with God as his arsenal or his battlefield at any point in time. And that's why people be in a relationship where they are being slapped them, because that man does not love God. If you love God, you will love people as you love God. You love God, and that love that God shares in our hearts will overflow on your partner. And this is the kind of man you would want to be if you really want to keep her afraid of losing you, no matter what is your weaknesses. Secondly, the love of God and the fear of God brings wisdom. So if you see any man who is so wise, it means that he is actually practicing everything that is in the Bible, because that is what brings wisdom. And the highest form of wisdom is even when you come so close to God that you receive other instructions from God that is so specific to your life, where you have to be next year, what season you are in, that is actually not in the Bible, but it's so specific in your life. It brings some kind of higher wisdom. And that is the kind of man you would want to be. The Bible says that Joseph had the presence of God with him, and because of that, everything that he does prospers. This is not an abstract thing. This is just the truth. If you could look at trends, everyone who is prospering in the right sense, not those that we don't know where their prosperity came from, these are people who have track record of being with God. So if you really want to be that kind of man, because visionary women, you know what, they do not just think about themselves. Those who are just so selfish are the people who just think about six packs, who just thinks about beauty or your handsomeness or whatever. People with vision, women with vision, are not selfish. When I say selfish, they are not people who think just about themselves. Because what will your children do with six packs? My children have no idea about six packs. And if you are choosing a partner as a woman, I'm even talking for the woman, but today is for men. You have to look at both ways, yourself and then your children. So you are looking at someone who has so much wisdom and is so responsible to take care of your children, to impart wisdom in your children, to groom your children to become those kingdom pillars, those giants, those people who are groomed in character. That is what you are looking out for. When you are looking out for six packs, it means that you don't care about your children. What will six packs feed your children? No. So I am talking about visionary women here. If you really want to get a visionary woman or a purposeful woman to be afraid of losing you, this is the first one you have to do. The second point I would love to talk about is that be a man who has built virtues and character. Virtues and character. When you read 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 to 8, it says that add to your faith godliness, and to godliness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance. He mentions a lot of virtues, and these are the virtues you would want to build in your life. When you build this kind of virtue, you become productive. When you get to the verse 8, it says that if you are able to build all these things in increasing measure, then you become productive and efficient. Most of the things that the average woman is looking for can be replaced. They are looking for money. They are looking for a man who will give them attention. They are looking for someone who will give them time, who will care for them. There's someone who has good works, someone who has, handsome appearance, presentable. These things are easily replaceable. And that's why we keep changing partners here and there in a short while, because what we are looking for is easily replaceable. The moment I come for you because of your money, if you are someone like me, I love to travel. I love to go for conferences. I love to go for seminars. I meet people every day. People that you meet them and these people are successful. These people are this, these people are this, but they lack character. So if you are someone who is focused, if your woman is focused on just money, just physique, you can easily be replaced, because there were lots of people she's going to meet. Very handsome people, very ambitious people. And your only assurance that if she's trying to replace you, she will think twice, is the virtues that you have built. That you are a man of sound judgment. You are very matured, so responsible. You are a man who is so self-controlled, a man who has built perseverance. That you're a man who has built perseverance. You are godly. You are a man who is so much respected, disciplined in every way. The moment they think of replacing you, those things will haunt them. And it will keep them afraid of losing you. So let's build character, build virtue as a man. Don't just grow. Don't just be hustling, quote and unquote. I don't even like that word. Be hustling for money. No. Build these things alongside you getting money, because money is also important in our economy, in our world today. So as you do these things, take time to build virtues. The third one I want to talk about is be a visionary man. Be a visionary man. Do not let vision be absent from your life. You know what? It is the absence of vision that makes people think that someone they are dating has wasted their life. Because you should be actively working on your vision alongside enjoying that companionship you are having in your relationship, sharing ideas and all of that. But aside that, do not let relationship or dating be just your sole concentration. No, it is just one chapter of your book of life. or that book you are writing with your life. It's just one chapter. So work actively on your vision. Be a man of vision. Women love to be with people. There's a secret I'm telling you, people who are visionary. And that's why they love to flaunt around celebrities, because they think that they are there. Those people have achieved their vision, kind of thing. That's why they love to be with people who have cars, because those people have dreams and have achieved a certain vision. That's why they love to. Sometimes they serve their pastors even well than their partners, because they feel like those people have vision. They have something they are always working toward. They have work or something that keeps them going every day. And so if the moment you are not visionary, it is easy for you to be replaced, to go for someone who is visionary. So my guy, dream big, and keep your vision always before you, and keep working at it. And if you have a partner that you have a long-term plan with, tell that partner your vision. Do not hide it. Because women are built in such a way that they always want to support their own. So the moment you communicate the vision, they would want to support you. The moment you want to achieve this in this year, achieve that, they will want to keep that money that they will use for all those unnecessary things, because you've given them a vision that you are looking up to. So they want to keep it. They will not disturb you with unnecessary taking. And even that one, I'll come to it when I'm doing the women one. So have a vision and communicate your vision, so that the woman will have a focus. He knows where he has to be in 10 years. You know where they are going in 5 years. You are the leader. So communicate the vision and pull her along, so that you can build the vision together. If you do not have vision, your speed is slowed. You cannot speed if you don't have vision. Imagine driving a car and the car doesn't have any lights. You have to be slow so that you do not crash or do not get into an accident. But if you have a vision, you have speed, because you know where you are going, because the road is clear. So dream, have a vision, and keep working at it, and you will keep her afraid of losing you. Because there's a lot of men who are entering into people's DM on social media, wanting to know them. I want to know you. Meanwhile, they don't even know themselves. They don't even know whom they belong to. Can you take time, like 1 year, and make yourself a project, me incorporated, build yourself, build your vision, know who you belong, build your relationship with God, before you go to someone's DM and ask about knowing them? Because these things make you, and it makes you secure to be able to move with someone and build a life with that person. And because you are the head, you are going to build the woman, just like Jesus is building his church. And he says that he's going to present the church without blemish to his Father. That's the same thing you have to be as a man. That you build your woman up and present that woman at the end of it all. You guys have grown together and have built things together. So now start by building your own life, because you are going to build someone else's, or help someone or support someone to build their own. The fourth point is that you have to be a man who is secured enough to allow your woman fly. And that is what will keep her afraid of losing you. Be secured enough to allow her fly. The other time I was conversing with a group of guys, and all of them were saying that, why would a lady I'm dating take a guy's number? I was so confused about what kind of generation is this one? What kind of generation is this? Good. Because you are dating the person, she should not take anyone's number. What kind of mindset is this one? And it boils down to the first and the second point. If you are dating someone, you know that the person is so faithful, has built the virtue of faithfulness. The person is God loving, will not do anything that God does not want. you are so secured. So if you begin to think like this, it means that you are not actually secured. And as I said, your only security is that your partner loves God. Any other thing is a risk. So these guys were like, you should not take someone's number. No, allow her to fly. Allow her to be ambitious. Allow her to network. Allow her to make friends. Be secured enough to allow her to fly. Because you may never know, one of those networks that she may make is the one that she will connect to you in your business or something, and then you'll be earning whatever you may earn, or you have that advantage you may never even have dreamt of. So allow her to you have to trust her enough to allow her to fly. Allow her to go to conference, allow her to travel. Don't police her. Don't always be checking up on her. That is a sign that the person you have does not have God, hasn't built virtues and character. And that is the basis, and that's why it is number one and number two. Allow her to fly. Do not police her. A woman of God once says that you do not have to be El Shaddai, else you shall die. Don't be everything to her. Don't be everything. Because you cannot be everything. All she needs is to know herself, be self-aware, be visionary, be purposeful, know her God, and you become a complement kind of thing. You become like the icing on the cake because he has a companion, she has a companion. But if the background is not there, or if the foundation is not there, then a lot of things surface. So make sure you are going for the right person, and if you get that person, do not police her. Allow her to fly. Allow her to be secured. Allow her to be friends with people. The fifth one and the last one is the last one we'll talk about today is that creates a balance between being logical and being emotional. You know, we all know that men are logical. Women are mostly emotional. And sometimes I advise women that they should intentionally develop themselves to move a little bit from being always emotional to becoming logical. And it will come into the women own. But men, you should learn to also be emotional. It's not always that you have to be logical. You have to be empathetic so that you can be able to feel how the woman feels sometimes and not always be logical, objective. No, sometimes you have to be subjective. You have to be able to say that your woman is a beautiful woman in the world. Not that you are not being subjective, but because she is your own. And beauty lies in the eyes of the behold. So that is you. If you say that, oh, you are being objective, so, I mean, obviously, she's not a beautiful woman in the world, you are hurting her. Know how women sometimes act, know who women is, and sometimes become emotional and understand their feelings. If you are that kind of person, you understand that the woman most of the times needs attention. She wants you to do this, or you have to understand the person you are with. Not every woman is like that though, but you have to understand them in that regard. And if you have to be emotional sometimes to be able to understand them, to be able to communicate with them on the level, then you have to do that. And I can assure you, doing these 5 things will make you become irresistible and make people afraid of losing you as a partner. And then you wouldn't have to keep jumping from one person to another because you are not laying the foundation. The foundation should be a person who loves and fears God, a person who has built virtues, a person who is visionary, a person who has balance in life, a person who is secured in himself. That should be the foundation. So if you are a woman watching, you should be looking out for these things in the man that you want to date, because that is what brings stability. That is what brings peace of mind. Because for me, any little a drop of lack of peace of mind just destroys everything. So I'm always careful who I am, who is my friend, who is my whatever, who is my close person. Because the people that you are associates with will always rub themselves on you. Hmm? So let's go out there and be one of a kind of a man, that man that women will be afraid to lose, and that man that have to even hide his identity as to whether he's married or not, because if he declares it, people will jump on him. That's the kind of man you have to be, because you are a Jesus man. You are a gentleman, and you don't have to struggle for women, for godly women, because God will always not throw his pearl to charcoal. And so the moment you build that relationship with God, you don't suffer for some things, some quality things in the kingdom. You don't suffer for it. God presents it to you. So build that kind of relationship with God, build virtues, and I promise you, you will enjoy a very effective and productive relationship. On this note, the women version, keep him afraid, will come later. If you have not subscribed, please do also subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Now let me give you a bonus to this video. There was a discussion about the fact that one lady dumped the boyfriend because of color match. I mean, the dressing wasn't appropriate at all. So because of that, the friends of the lady, they were teasing the lady and all of that, and that made the relationship collapse. So the bonus to this video is that in as much as you build all of these things, please present yourself well. Present yourself well. Be a man that a lady will be willing and be happy to introduce you to their friends, because you are presentable. Dress well, keep personal hygiene, know how to combine colors. And that is my bonus for you. And work for money, because Charlie, money is important. For God to love the world that He gave. So if you would show some kindness, show some gestures on her birthday, on all those things, you need money. So don't think that money is out of the question. Money is important. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.